Over the years, Lee and Eleanor made many visits to the British Isles. Whenever possible, they would stop in Rushden, about an hour north of London, for a visit with their dear friends Douglas and Virginia Pope. The Popes, who were longtime and very active members of the Sharnbrook Mill Theatre, sent the following message. Lee and Eleanor came into our lives in the summer of 1986 when we were over from England visiting our parents in Belleville. Tickets for the production of Man of La Mancha at the Pinnacle Playhouse had been purchased for us, and upon collecting them, we were introduced to two members of the production team, Eleanor, costumes, and Lee, sound. Following the show, they gave us a conducted tour backstage and invited us to share supper with the rest of the team. At the end of the evening, we said, well, if you ever visit England, look us up. And 18 months later, that's exactly what they did. They stayed for just one night, but we were up all night until cockcrow, sipping the old glass and talking about everything and anything, but mainly about theater. And that was the start of, well, I hesitate to use the word friendship, as it became something so much more. Over the next 25 years or so, we visited Belleville and they visited Rushden, and it was such a pleasure to take them on what became known as Pope's Tours, introducing them to many parts of our area, and they reciprocated in Canada. Our daughters Victoria and Alex were over visiting in Belleville and were invited to stay at Five Oaks. Upon their return home, they announced, we adopted Lee and Eleanor as surrogate grandparents. Alex remembers, Lee became my radio kindred spirit. His enthusiasm rubbed off on me and helped me take on and continue my own career in radio. It was great to share our jobs of broadcasting, and I can still remember the tour he took me on in Belleville to see the radio station there. I have so many happy memories of Lee, and if ever I need to know something, I always think of him saying, look it up. It was a great honor to have him and Eleanor at our wedding. Douglas continues, Lee sent us all the CDs of his Saturday morning program, Name That Portion of a Tune. What a pleasure it was to listen to the fruitiest of voices accompanied by his trademark chuckle. His broadcasting skills were legendary, and I can best illustrate this with an occurrence when taking an early morning walk with him around Belleville. En route, we stopped to admire our garden, and the lady of the house struck up a conversation with us. She listened to Lee for a few seconds and then said, I know that voice. Are you Lee Jourard? Barely had Lee responded in the affirmative, then she excitedly summoned her husband round from the yard and breathlessly announced, Frank, this is Lee Jourard. I have to say, every moment spent with Lee's company was special. His knowledge on so many subjects made for amazing conversations. His generosity of spirit, and not just the Scottish kind, knew no bounds. That message came from Lee's extended English family, Victoria, Nick, Olivia, Oscar Walker, Alexandra, Jim, and Annabelle Goodbody, Cyril and Madeline Sturgeon, and Douglas and Virginia Pope.